Hi. Hi everybody. My name is Alain, Makoge, and I'm going to be doing a speech about stress and the possible effects of stress. I'm going to hand this out to you guys. That way you guys actually follow what I'm doing here. Alright, I'm going to be talking to you guys about stress, like I mentioned earlier, and a lot of times, when you get a little depressed, something is not moving on right with you, you know, you feel like the whole world is coming all over you, you get stressed out. But what we don't seem to understand is the effects of what that is onto our body, onto our system. Alright, now, what is actually stress? Stress is anything that poses like a challenge to us. Like when we want something to go a certain way, but it doesn't go that way, we get stressed out. And the funny thing is, it could either be good or it could as well be bad. Good in the sense that if we don't have stress in our lives, life is really going to be boring. Because at least sometimes when you have that little stress, it pushes you to do one or two things, here and there, and you're very enthusiastic. But at the same time, when stress actually undermines your mental and physical health, that's when it gets bad. Okay. Now, before I go ahead and talk to you guys about the various kind of stress and the symptoms and causes of stress, I would want to differentiate a little bit between stressors and stress. Now, stressors is not really much of a big difference, but stressors are more like the actual things that make you stress. Right? Stress is actually the feeling you go through when you're stressed. All right. Now, stressors, those are day-by-day things that we go through every day in life. Like you wake up in the morning and then you want to start your car and then your engine doesn't start. You start feeling stressed, or you get on the road and then you're trying to get to work on time, and then the traffic and everything, and then you feel really stressed, and all that stuff. So that really pisses you off. Yeah. But let me go ahead and try to talk about some few things which a lot of us do not know, but at the same time a lot of us are really familiar with. Something like acne. It's general information. They say acne causes stress, but little do we know that stress as well causes acne. So they kind of correlated with each other. According to the New York Times, there's a writer in the New York Times by name Eric Nagoni. He actually wrote this article on the New York Times that talked about a research which was carried out in a school with college kids. And according to this research, he found that when kids were trying to get ready for exams, that stress which they go through actually causes them to break out a lot. And that was one of the studies that actually prompted it to come up with the study saying that stress actually does cause us acne and stuff like that. And also, a lot of us, or a lot of smokers, I know we don't have any smokers here, but a lot of smokers do believe that when they actually smoke a cigarette, it tends to relieve stress, But funny thing though, according to Alain from the New York Times, he tells us that there was a research that was carried out in the London School of Medicine, which actually had 469 patients who used to be smokers, but they were trying to get them off smoking and the nicotine and everything because they were suffering from heart disease. But what they ended up finding out was the fact that as much as they were able to abstain from smoking, the stress level actually was way lesser than those who actually kept on smoking. You see, but that's something that a lot of us don't know, because smokers will tell you, they would swear, they will go by the fact that, smoking actually makes them relieve that stress. But on the contrary, when you stop smoking, there's a high advantage of you, having less stress level, And also, helpguide.org, tells us about, some of the possible symptoms of stress. I mean, it could be internal, it could be external. I mean, it happens in every different forms. Externally, I mean, you having relationship issues, you having car issues, you having issues with your kids, how like run your household, and stuff like that. Internally, you might just be thinking about how you're gonna pay your next bill, how you're gonna, cook for the family and stuff like that. I mean, all those things just like pile up on you, and then it makes you go through too many difficulties. Like it has a whole bunch of effects, such as memory problems. Like you find out that when you're very stressed, you have a lot of things going on through your mind. And the fact that you have this many things going on in your mind, you tend to lose track. If you're not a very organized person, you tend to lose track on what are your priorities that you're supposed to take care of. You have the inability to concentrate, very poor judgment, and moodiness. I mean, of course, we all know that when you get very stressed out, I mean, you just want to like take time off for yourself and not worry about anything. I mean, you get very gloomy, pretty much, and stuff like that, and that tends to affect you. You affect your health, and you tend to worry a lot, body aches and stuff like that. And some other way that people turn to want to deal with this stress is they tend to eat a lot. Now, a lot of studies have proven that a lot of obese people are people who actually go through a lot of stress because they find that eating is just another way of escaping. So they tend to like eat a lot, and then sleep. So that's gonna, put a lot of pounds on you, and then the next thing is you tend to be diabetic and stuff like that. So it really affects your health, in a very big way. And then you develop high blood pressure and stuff like that. I mean, so stress has a very terrible impact on us, And after talking about all these things, and all these possible effects that stress has on us, I also want to throw light on how we can handle stress. Some of the things that we could do that could really help us handle stress. Now, one of the things that I want to put light on is fight or flight. I mean, sometimes your body tells you to either go for it or to, not go for it. Sometimes it's always advisable that if it's something that you can handle, go for it. If it's something that you cannot handle, stay away from it. That's the best way to go about it, rather than trying to like get into it and then you cannot handle it, and then at the end of the day, it bounces back on you. And then working out too, exercising. When you get really stressed, it's always advisable to go out there, exercise, maybe run, or do something, to get that stress out of you. And if you're also stressed out because you have so much work, it's advisable that you have people around you who, you can actually divide, your work schedule. Well, let me not say your work schedule as in work, but let's say in a household, if your stress is coming in from the household, and then you have kids at home who are grown enough to take care of certain things. I mean, you can always assign things to the kids, or have your husband help you out, or have your wife help you out on some of the things that are supposed to be done. That way the stress level is really low on you. And then also, it's also important that your nutrition plays a very great factor on your stress level. So what you eat as well helps you. And then if it gets really worse, I mean, if it gets really bad, I mean, you might just want to seek professional help. Sometimes talking about whatever it is that you're going through actually helps you bring down your stress level. It's always commonly said that two heads are better than one. Whatever it is that you're going through, it's always advisable that you talk to someone about it, and that way you feel more better and stuff like that. So in all, I know I've been able to talk to you guys about what stress is, some of the possible causes of stress and the effects of stress, and how we can handle stress. I mean, we go through this every day in our lives. It's life. It's part of human. I mean, we deal with it every day. So how we handle it is very important about it. So that would be that about stress. Any questions? Anybody has any questions? Anything that you might want to have little highlights on? I mean, I'm waiting to take questions.
Nope.
No
It's
questions?
pretty clear.
Pretty clear?
Mhm.
All right, thanks. And then once again, my name is Alain, and I just presented the speech on stress and how to handle stress.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you, my audience. All right.